Hello again, this is Japan. So this section is going to talk about sugar. Okay, what kind of sugar we're going to use in the diabetes? So you're going to know all about sugar, which is manufacturing, uh, what kind of supplement sugar instead of using regular sugar, honey, palm sugar, white sugar. So we're going to go through that in this presentation. So this is a education for the diabetic cooking. This is Japan. Okay, here we go. Sugar dilemma. What that's supposed to mean? So it's we were talking about the glucose and the body system. Okay, this is like on this lecture that we're going to cover sugar variety, natural sugar, sugar from wine, sugary drink, refined sugar, and artificial sweetener. This is for you to understand when you have a diabetes. This is all about sugar. You have to be careful what to do, what not to do, which one to avoid, which one can use, especially when you do the diabetic cooking, Thai diabetic cooking. We have to be involved with a lot of sugar, but what kind of sugar do you use, how much you use, what the supplement sugar that you can do, okay? We're going to go through that. Carbohydrate is sugar. Now we have to understand a little bit of the carbohydrate, this saccharide or sugar. So they have monosaccharide and oligosaccharide, then the polysaccharide. So it based on the chain of the sugar. So which is a simple sugar, and then you have that one chain of of the chemistry, and then when you got oligosaccharide, it's 2 to 10 sugar unit, and then poly is more than 10, those kind of thing. So then you have to understand that the complex carbohydrate and simple carbohydrate, what are those function, you know. If your simple sugar, that monosaccharides is aldose, glucose, ketose, fructose, those kind of things that you don't have to go into deep at that. This is how the chemistry structure is all about. So, but the main thing you have to know is the simple carbohydrate and complex carbohydrate. Now we need to know a little bit of the simple and complex carbohydrate. Simple, it's practically sugar, you know, and like come from dessert, come from sweet, come from fruit, come from milk, and all these kind of things that is a simple carbohydrate. So pretty much straightforward. And then when you go to complex, you got either starch or fiber. Okay, starter fiber, starchy, like grain, like starchy vegetable, noodle, the kind of thing that the complex. And then you have fiber, you have whole grain, you got nut, you got ligam. This is all complex carbohydrate. So that's all you need to know when they're talking about complex carbohydrate. That means when you eat the noodle, that complex carbohydrate. If you eat fruit, that's the sugar, like that simple carbohydrate. Okay, easy and simple. That to keep in your mind that what they're talking about, simple and complex carbohydrate. With sugar, now we have to understand a little bit of which sugar that we're talking about when we talk about. If you talk about glucose, glucose is the sugar in your blood, that your blood sugar that float inside your vein, your vein. That what glucose is about. And then your fructose, you got the sugar from fruit, sweet fruit like rambutan, like all the thing. So, and then you have galactose sugar from the beet. The beet or sweet sugar beet, those kind of thing that it come from that part. And then you talk about sucrose. Sucrose is a table sugar that man make. Like you use it sugar to like it come from many source, but it called table sugar. It become table sugar. Usually it's made from the sugar cane. Okay. And palm sugar, like all these things we come from palm, so we go to that too. And then the maltose is come from barley, come from beer, those kind of thing that they use it from fermentation. Sometimes it come from like you ferment it, like beer in Thailand they use rice to ferment it to create it sugar. Okay. And the thing that you have to know, the sucrose is table sugar, but it's as simple as glucose plus fructose, because everyone have glucose in it. Glucose, they are the combination of those. Okay, it has milk sugar, malt sugar, table sugar. That's what you have to know. All of this. So see, like if you have a fructose coming into the system, they go straight directly to the liver process into fat and glycogen, and then it go out into the muscle to support the muscle and your pancreas to create the insulin, the hormone, so they become glucose. So it's the conversion by the liver. Okay. That all you need to know. You don't have to know that much, so I don't need to know that much. But I just want to emphasize the kind of sugar, okay? And mostly we use the table sugar and fruit sugar that we're talking about. Milk sugar, maybe it's from the beet, all these things that is the sugar come from. So we got to know, because when we adjust your meal, cooking the meal, so what kind of thing do you use? You don't want to use so many sugar in one dish, which it come from the sugar come from the ingredients, and then you add sugar in on top of it, so that cause the sugar spike, so that you know a little bit of sugar. It should be legitimate, should be understanding. You have to go all the way through, just know what it is, so understand that it exists and it can affect your blood sugar. Okay. So I want to add a little bit of the sugar structure. Like they have all it have something to do with the oxygen and the hydrogen. Like a little bit of chemistry. So glucose structure is about the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. That's pretty much this is carbon. They have 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen, and 6 oxygen. These are pretty much. That's why they have to separate it out and tell you what the carbon look like when you go. You're a chemist. You go look at that. What you don't have to go that far, but it's just to understand that each structure is all different. That's why they have a different name, different chain of the chain of atom. Okay. And they have a chain, because of the chain of the atom, and then they can identify what it one core, how many is a carbon, how many oxygen in that structure. Okay, you don't have to know that, but just be aware of it. This is how they do them. So here the fun part, which sugar is what? So kind of thing here. I always question myself, which sugar is what? So you see all the tomatoes, sweet pea, sweet corn, they all contain the sugar, okay? And the Canadian Sugar Institute, that what they established all these. So like a sweet pea is have 100%, okay? Sweet pea have 100%, of what? Of sucrose. Okay. And then how much carb? Like 11 grams. Like this is 100 gram measurement. Okay. It's about carb about 100 gram, 11 gram, and sugar 3.5. Okay. That sugar is sucrose. So that is how we read the data. Okay. Let's talk about the orange. Orange, they have the carb for 17.6 gram and sugar 11.9 gram. So, but this is like have more thing in there. You have glucose, you have fructose, you have sucrose. So everything is all one in the orange. So that's why when you drink orange juice, that you accumulate all the sugar in here. That's why your blood spike. Your blood sugar spike easily when you do pure orange juice. Okay, that's why I say have to be careful. We have to understand that the people, orange juice is good for your breakfast. Blah, blah. I mean, if you drink that, what you got glucose, fructose, and sucrose all at once. And you have the sucrose is 50%. They divide by percent. Like fructose is 27%. It is for you have to be when you know it. You have to be careful how much you can drink. Because orange juice is good for you, but when you have diabetes, it's different game. You can't just do it. Once a while we do them, okay? And we'll pick another one, the fruit pear. Okay, the pear, the carb is 9.2 grams because it's a lot of meat, the carbohydrate there. And then you have a sugar within itself, the sweetness is 8.9 grams, the sweet. Then now you see they have the same thing, but now you have more fructose, 67%, okay, sucrose, 8%, and then glucose is about 25%. So this is all the establishment already. But the last one you see like a sugar beet, sugar beet take the whole thing sucrose about 98%. That the difference that fruit, vegetable, everything give you different value of sugar. So when you cooking, you eating, just be careful with it. What it all about. Eating doesn't hurt to learn. You just go in and try to understand what it is. Just try to learn how to read the data. What does it mean? Okay, this is the thing that the indication of what it is and how many percent. Okay, and you have carb, you have sugar. That pretty good, stable. This kind of thing. If you see this kind of data, just take a look at it. Make sure you check it where it comes from. The Canadian Sugar Institute. So the institution, the information should be most likely accurate. So, and then this is the thing that I add into the how much carb, how much sugar, so kind of thing. Then to make it easy for you guys to understand, okay, how to read them. Okay, I hope you get it. Now, this is another thing that sweetener, the nutritive of sweetener, is it pretty much they don't give you percent that much, but they get, you can do by this percent down below here, 0, 20, 40, 60, that scale, okay? Oh, I don't know, is that 80 and 100, okay? If you talk about sucrose, sugar, sucrose, like gold 100%. Okay. Now, if you talk about agave have 1, 2, 3 different color. 1, 2, 3 different color. Glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Okay. That is how much do you need. This is probably because it did 20, did 110, did 5, probably 3. That's it. You can draw the line and see how much it is from here to there. Okay? And now, if you are talking about honey, okay, the honey have glucose, large amount of glucose, probably almost 50%, and then you have large amount of fructose, probably almost 50% too, and then you got a little bit of sucrose, and then you have galactose. So or other thing from there within the honey, we're not quite sure what it is. Okay, this is how everything is established. You can go in and then try to understand, learn how to read the table. Okay, sometimes when you do, we're going to do to plan your meal and planning the dish that you're going to cook. See how many sugar, how many salt, those kind of things that we're going to into it. But we're not going to go to the calorie, how much calorie on this, how much calorie on that. We're going to go closely about, concern about sugar. Salt, I don't concern that much because the salt is good for your health because it's a lot more mineral. Because we're going to use oil, we're going to use we're going to use Himalayan salts to do all things like a salad, to make all those dipping, those kind of things. That what we're going to do. We could be more concerned about sugar. That what we're going to learn more on those. Okay. So we know about the sugar that I have, the single sugar and complex sugar. Now we're going to talk about either M or D, the monosaccharide or disaccharide. So that what we have to dig a little bit deeper to understand what kind of sugar and what it look like. See, you see the fructose, so like all the sweetening, lead meat, lead carb in there, carbohydrate, except the mango. This is sweet mango. You have carb in there because carbohydrate will turn into sugar when the fruit is ripe. Okay, you add more of it because from the meat that convert from carbohydrate to sugar to fructose. Okay, when you talk about the glucose, this is all like you go back to mango again. It like a ripe mango. You have more carb, but it have more medicinal and it less sugar. Okay, these things are less sugar when they like still not ripe. When they ripe, everything turns to sugar. Okay, and the galactose, the same thing. The milk, all the goody, the nut, pretty much all these avocado. So it's have something, the galactose in it. It's have a portion of that. So just be careful, just be understanding. I can probably meet 2-3 things, but it's pretty much you see the nut that have it, you see honey that have it, those kind of things. The galactose, you still have some, how they define it, so you understand it, it's good. You don't understand, it's just okay. You don't have to know too much, but this is what it look like. Okay, and if you have the multiple sugar, disaccharide, and pretty much everything is processed, like fix, you have to dry it out, they have to be ripe and just dry out, so it becomes sucrose, honey, all those things. This is the lactose. You have milk product, you have or you like a cheese, like all those kind of things, and you have the maltose. It's like a wheat, ram, all these kind of things. The product that they create. Okay, either sugar M or D, monosaccharide or disaccharide. That's what all you have to know. Okay, that's what I know. That all it needs for me to understand that. And then when I create something, when I like, is have maltose food and wine pairing. When you do food, you eat eat sushi, you take sake have maltose. So those kind of things that it just for you to know a little bit of that, and then you're going to order something, you're going to drink something, so you would, what is it they have, that the sugar, and is that going to affect my blood sugar? Those kind of things. That is, could you put in your head, put in your mind that, okay, now I'm not the normal person. You have diabetes, you want to reverse until you reverse it, and then you can go back to eat. Like me, I can go back to eat all kind of things, but I still control the portion of it, okay, to where that don't spike my blood sugar, okay. Sin because we cook, we use the table sugar. They call table sugar. They have pretty much sucrose. What happened was they come up with a variety of it. You see like a granular sugar, powdered sugar, superfine sugar, brown sugar, demerara. I think I pronounced it correctly, demerara sugar, and then turbando sugar, because they use some Spanish, some French, they mix all kind of things. Whoever they do the product, they creating with that language, pretty much. Okay, muscovado sugar, those kind of things, depend on whoever created, and liquid sugar. So they all the form of sugar on the table sugar that we can use. So it will define by the calorie, how many calorie in that, how many milligram of sugar, and how much sodium. So those kind of things. Because I thought, oh, we never have a sodium. When you talk about brown sugar, it have zero point 0.8 milligram sodium. Okay, Itabano have 0.1 milligrams sodium. Some of them do have sodium, some of them don't. Okay, and the value probably is around 4.6 sugar, almost similar. The liquid sugar has less. That's about it. This is sugar has less. I don't know why, but I don't know how they define it. But it pretty much you put the water, you dilute in it, because when you do liquid sugar, you take the table sugar and you put water in there and you cook it down. So, and then you lose the strength of sugar. That's all about that. Why they go 3.2 gram of sugar. That it makes sense to you now? I think it does. Okay, this is 1 teaspoon of the measurement of what you get. Okay, it the same thing that not all sugar are equal. The same thing, man, woman, in your body, and how much your body can tolerate the sugar, how much you can eat. Or you have a sweet tooth, or you don't like sweet at all. Those kind of things. It's all about you. It's good to know about the sugar, that the process of the sugar and natural sugar. Because the processed sugar and natural sugar is different. Okay, the natural sugar is alkaline to your cell and breaking down slowly. Okay, and keep the insulin and blood sugar level steady. Levers to the acidosis. That's another medical term. You don't need to know that one. So you want to know, just Google it. Okay, I forget already what it is. It didn't have it in my note now. Okay, had fiber to make you feel full. Okay, the natural, usually fruit and vegetable or something that you eat. Okay, and reduce inflammation, satiating your brain, no addictive to your brain, optimal form of steady energy, and aids against the cancer. This is what they claim. I don't know how much this is in there good, but I know I always use natural sugar to cook, so to avoid the less of the processed sugar, because processed sugar, you're going to have a chemical in there. Like we're going to go into the how sugar process, like go add more a little bit on that. And then this is just another new thing that they put it in there. See, they're changing the name of the sugar. Like if you talk about buttered syrup, what did I mean? Buttered, it's butter, and sugar mixed together. They call buttered syrup. That means it's syrup. That means And we talk about sugar, that means it have more sweetener, something in that, because the butter is not sweet. So syrup, it can come from, the corn syrup, the classic corn syrup, that the most toxic of all syrup is corn syrup. That's what they avoid it to don't say corn syrup. That's my understanding. Butterless syrup, that's what it is. Okay, and they have all kind of weird name. You have to look at it. I think this list, this guy did it pretty well. The 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 group that created it, I give it credit to them already. So it's about sneaky name, maple syrup. The maple syrup is the real one, it's good, and then now they got do the commercial one. That's when they put some the corn syrup or something in the system. Then they have a maple smell, a little bit of taste of the maple syrup, sugar. And then what they add something in there, who knows? And that's what they come out with, the maple syrup. So they all need this kind of thing, because when you know the ingredient, and then this is artificial. So be careful what you do, okay? Because the name can be that, and nobody can detect it, nobody can tell it, and it seems to me legal for them, because they can sell the product, nobody check it. So to make sure you check it yourself, is what is it you want to eat, okay? Stick with the natural sugar, you'll be okay. Let us know something about where that the sugar come from. In Thai cooking, specifically we do several sugar. We don't do them all the world sugar. That try to bring it in to do with the Thai food is totally different. We can adjust them, okay? The sugar can come from flower, come from tree, come from fruit, come from insect net, root vegetable, leaf vegetable, or leaf from the not doesn't have to be vegetables. It's many kind of leaf that give a sweetness, like a stevia, that kind of thing, and man-made, of course, that you make this, make that, you come up with another sugar. You try to sell it, but you don't know what it is in there, what the portion, how much glucose, sucrose, all these kind of things you don't know. So you better understand what it is. I'm going to stick with all the Thai cooking, because in Thai we don't do molasses to cook with, maple syrup, no, agave, no, stevia powder, no, corn syrup, the Yukon syrup, sorghum syrup, all these things we cannot use with the Thai cooking, because it will change the taste, and if not, it will change the taste, and you have aftertaste when you do with Thai food, because for some reason some molecule that go into the food and run into the syrup, and then they will change the taste. You got bitterness, you get stingy, you got tartness within the food. Then you lost your simultaneously affect, you lost your flavor, you lost your texture. All these things can do all kinds of things in Thai cooking. That's why I never recommend any of these to do with Thai cooking. This is classical Thai cooking. Even what they were very strictly, they were going to use, like a palm sugar, brown sugar, some white sugar, honey, and fruit and vegetable. That we get the sugar from, direct source from fruit and vegetable. This is how we do Thai cooking, okay? And this, because you're going to learn Thai diabetic cooking, that is from classical Thai cooking. This is the sugar that we use, okay? And all the palm sugar, brown sugar, and now we're going to add another thing, is the sugar that it may come from stevia, okay? Because that's the sugar that process from that, and then from a monk fruit that we're going to do this kind of sugar that we're going to use it in Thai cooking, okay, for the diabetes people. This is another thing that sugar, because about alcohol added, sugar alcohol have many names, you know, like mannitol, sorbitol, xylitol, lactitol, all these things. It's a wonderful name. The name is so wonderful. It really, soothing. Oh, I want to eat that. That is so. I eat mannitol. So what it is that we make from fruit, vegetable, those kind of thing. This is like the mannitol is sweet potato. That's the worst that they come. That is, you got a lot more sugar, you got carrot, the sweet potato, you got more sugar in there. So you don't know how much sugar it is, but it's 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoon, nobody measure it. So, and then we say, okay, that is the sugar, add alcohol, you put it in your alcohol, you do the mixture, you do all those kind of things. And then the corn syrup, the sorbitol, that is if you see this word sorbitol, that you pity them to, this is corn syrup. That corn syrup is not good to your system because it's difficult to digest, okay? And like a zero value to your system, literally, and probably toxic destroy you on top of that. So if your body doesn't have enough, strength to do things, or you already fail, your body fail, and then what you got is corn syrup that you get you diabetes faster than anybody else. So those kind of things. These mostly come from fruit, vegetable, all these things like xylitol. So the maltitol, that is another one. I think it's the worst of all, because you have corn, you got wheat or potato, and any of these is harmful to you to do if you have a diabetes, to do the diabetes. When you have a diabetes, try to avoid all of this. If I eat corn, I eat fresh corn. It's not processed. Okay, like I cook the corn 5-10 minutes, in the boiling water. Or if I do the microwave, then I will take a little longer time. But usually I just boil it in the hot water. Okay, but this one they already processed to you is become mannitol, and that what is your body have difficulty digested. Okay, that alcohol, sugar, that understanding the worst one is, I think, it's the hydrogenated starch carbohydrate. So it's a mixture of the polyhydrate. It's a mixture of polyhydrate alcohol, like mannitol, sorbitol, and high order of sugar alcohol. So the minute you read on the back of your ingredient, what are the ingredients, that package, you see who you buy it. For me, I don't. I stay away with it. No matter how good looking it is, I want just to buy to taste. I wouldn't do it. Okay, it's not good for your body. It's not good for my body, especially. Okay, just watch out for all this. This is some of it. Okay, will be a lot more of it, but I didn't dig into that much. But this is good enough to lay the awareness of your sugar usage. Okay. Now we're going to go more interesting the sugar, they call sugar in wine, those kind of thing. The wine poly did pretty good job on doing the data. So this is they were talking about bone dry, off dry, sweet dry, very sweet dry, those kind of things. It gives you okay understand this is the sugar and why because I like to drink, so I will always watch how much sugar in wine that I can drink. Sometimes you got regular, you got 12, 13, 14, percent of the alcohol. So I stick with the 14%, and that means a little bit off dry or dry wine. So when before I didn't have a diabetic because I didn't discover diabetic, so I drink just about everything. The more expensive, the higher content of alcohol, I have no problem. I keep on going. No matter how sweet it is, like a Wurteminer or chili wine or dessert wine or anything. I take them all, but now I don't do any of those. I just do only red wine, not more than 14%, Cabernet Sauvignon, and or anything else that not more than 4%. I take it out. If I don't like the taste, I don't like the flavor, so I don't buy them. So for me, it's Cabernet Sauvignon anytime, any company, they're pretty much the same. I like the grape that way. Okay, this is diabetic range that we were talking about. 25 to 30%, those kind of thing of RS is a residual sugar in there. So that's what they were talking about residual sugar. So it's about 10 to 35%. So for the diabetes, you have 25 to 30% because this is the value of 6 to 21% alcohol calories. So that what it the range is very narrow, but for me it working well for me because I stick with the 14% alcohol and the residue. I don't care about that much residue because it's the residue sugar because you're gonna drink them anyway. But if you look at the sediment down, on the bottle, that's what I don't eat. I don't drink when I see the sediment. Yeah, but you see a little bit of cloudy is okay when you see really sediment in that. So I don't do that kind of wine. So it give me headache. Okay. Now we will do a little bit deeper explanation of the sugar in wine. Okay. So the sugar in wine, that's it. The carb in wine, literally that's what they talk about, the residual sugar. Okay. They are established this way. Okay, the sugar calorie and the sugar carb per serving. Okay, and then residual sugar. That what 3 units that you want to know. The sweetness, they go by percent. It depends on variety of grape that they use. Okay, in USDA, FDA, not USDA, FDA give you the the guidelines about it. The woman is 5 ounce, 150 milligram, 40 gram of carb, that kind of thing, and then 12% alcohol. And the man that pretty much the man can do, 10 ounce. That means double what woman have. Okay, that's the estimate of SDA per day. This is per day. Okay, and 4 gram of carb is a diabetic drink. So pretty much you have to really going down, 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 down to where okay, go checks. They say 4 gram of carb. Carb they were referring to what? Residue, this kind of thing. So I think the doctors say all about 4 gram. I think it's too low. Okay, but I want to put in there somebody saying this, saying that. Now you have to really verify what are the things. So that's why the credit to the wife for it and what they established that. And now you have to learn how to do them. Okay? It's a total carb, it is about 3.7, 4.5. That's what they come up with it. Okay, that's the carb. So the diabetes range is about 35, 25 of residue. That this is the range that we were talking about. Okay, and the sugar calorie that it's between 15, 16. Sometimes because I don't concentrate too much of the calorie. Okay, because I will concentrate with the carb that's going to turn into more sugar and the residue sugar when I do the wine. This is how I establish myself, and it worked pretty well. It doesn't, even though I drink, sometimes I drink twice as much, and it doesn't really spike my sugar that much because I keep it everything is low to where close to the lane like this. But like it's too many glass, then you have problem. So you just be careful with the FDA recommendation. But it did is general, right? But it depends on your body how much you can tolerate the sugar and the alcohol. Because since I've been drinking when I was 14, hard liquor, all the thing, now I cut down to the wine, my body can take a little bit more. So it just depends on how good your body is. Okay? That good to know. Since I cut my wine, I only drink red wine now. And no white wine, no champagne, no none, because it does thing have a lot more sugar. So let understand a little bit of the grape, that how when you identify your drink, or mostly like a Zinfandel, Merlot, they're all the variety of grape that they grow everywhere in the world. Sauvignon, yeah, Shiraz, Pinot Noir, Malbec, Sagantino, Barbera, Laurent. This is a lot of Italian wine, a lot of Italian grape that they come out, California grape, those kind of thing. So you better to understand a little bit of that what kind of wine are you drinking, and then you can expect the alcohol content, and do they add more alcohol content in there because they want to put the cherry in there, they put this that all sugar accumulation should be understood a little bit of it, because the Merlot is for me the most healthy benefit. Merlot has high reservoir, I can resveratrol and positidine control cholesterol, and is a control cholesterol and protect your heart from various disease. So that kind of thing that Merlot. But for me, my regular thinking is pretty much Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, all each wine they have their own thing. The Cabernet Sauvignon, the red wine, you know, it have the like a less ginger, less sugar than the others, and similar to property to keep it to your heart safe, and healthy. Okay, that two wine that I drink. Sometimes I do Zinfandel. Zinfandel is pretty good too, but it's uh, make my tongue dark all the time. Sometimes it's stuck in on my teeth, because it's very concentrated. Okay, so the drink diet for diabetes for women, you get one glass, it's 5 ounces. For men, it's 2 glasses. It's a pretty much there, but for me, I go beyond it because I love it. So, and then you have to 2 3 hours later take the blood test. But did it did it you experiment and you do the blood test? Is it go up or go down, spike too much or not? And if you drink with the food, when you have your meal and have a glass of wine, then you'll be okay. I don't never seen it spike it up too much because the sugar can come from the food that you eat. The wine is just part of the process. It doesn't affect that much. One glass, you never get drunk for me. I don't know about you. Okay. Now I'm happy because talking about the wine. So now we're going to talk about the effect of sugar. This is a lot of things that you might not seen from a lot of people were talking about. So the sugar is FDA allowable per day is 50 grams, 12 tables, 12 3 spoon, 4 tablespoons, and about 200 calories. That if you want to count calories, but I don't count calories. I just go by amounts and how much I use to control it that way, the portion control. Okay, and the taste and flavor control. You have to tone it down, taste. When I do classical Thai cooking, Bangkok food, I go to full-blown taste. That means whatever you see, put it in, you see it, you should be able to taste it. Okay? But when you put in your tongue, simultaneously, boom, 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 boom. Sweet, sour, salty, buttery, mild, lingering, chung. That what is how the Thai food should go. For the diabetes cooking, so you will see that mild taste, not mild, less punching, less spice, less sweet. So it's tone it down almost half of it. But flavor, texture, everything still in contact, and you got more nutrition, wonderful nutrition go into your system. That's the difference between the classical Thai cooking and Thai diabetic cooking. That's totally different. Okay, you got to make sure the technique might be the same, but the value control, the sugar control, the salt control, all those things you have to add it up. And then the biggest control is the technique, how to cook them, how to not ruin your enzyme, those kind of thing. Okay, the sugar, the simple sugar or liquid sugar that you have to be more concerned because it go into your system faster. Okay, and you have a turbinol and granulated and brown sugar and powdered sugar. The powdered sugar, this is another one that go into your system fast because it already small particle, easy to digest. Okay, all these things the body still have to digest, even though you dilute it. But the thing, even though it's in the water form, but it still it harder to digest more than the liquid and granulate and powder. Okay, if you take about sugar, 1 gram of sugar is about 4 calories, pretty much almost everything more or less those kind of thing. If you talk about 5 grams of sugar, that's 6 tablespoons, 2 teaspoons, 6 teaspoons, 2 tablespoons. Okay, that is the portion. Try to stay with the teaspoon, not tablespoon. But you don't go 6 teaspoons, 1 teaspoon, half teaspoon, those kind of thing. That in diabetic cooking they are different. Okay, and what happened to sugar? Sugar is addictive. The more you eat, the more you take more. It make you tired. It make your teeth decay. You have the insulin resistance easily when you get the sugar caught you. It clogs your artery because it become plaque in your system. You increase uric acid. That when you get gout, you get all these things. If your body it has a problem already. Most of diabetic people have diabetes. People that have diabetes, it had gout. So, but for me, I didn't go that far because I eliminate all these things within 6 months. So before I leave there, I didn't go there. So that's what the problem is. And then your heart disease, your liver failure because the liver have to work harder. Your pancreas have to work harder. The metabolics and your metabolics disorder. Suddenly you got constipation, you got diarrhea, you got pain in your stomach. All these things is caused by more likely caused by sugar because the sugar doesn't resolve or sugar is still there, or you overwhelm your system with the sugar. Okay, And then the more you want, the more you eat sugar, the more you want to eat more. Like sometimes you order a cake, you say, "Oh, I'm going to have a bite." I mean, if you put a bite in your mouth, and then the whole thing is gone in nanosecond. You're talking about it's so good. So those kind of things you have to put a break into that. Okay, and sometimes is you have a non enzymatic glycation. That means you got inflammation in your stomach through that system. So suddenly your stomach is, oh, why is my stomach is so hot? I feel that kind of thing, but it can cause from sugar. Okay, and then you're going to give you diabetes. If you keep on eating, you're going to gain weight, and then you can have a skin problem. Like you got skin tag, you got dark skin, that kind of thing. Okay, should be careful. Use less sugar. Okay, so I've been talking about 20 minutes already. So, but the refined sugar process, that's what you have to know. I'm going to put it in there for you. How the thing works. This is refined sugar. This is a sugar cane. Okay, like this. This is the refined sugar, right? It come from sugar cane like that, look like that. Okay. The fourth thing that you're going to get the chemical, because like phosphoric acid, you know, sulfur dioxide, the calcium hydroxide, and molasses. Okay, when you talk about molasses, because the way they harvest the sugar cane, so usually they burn them to get rid of the leaf, and when you burn them, what you have it in stick it inside on your skin is phosphoric acid. So that's the mild of the acids of all, and it comes with a raw material. So when they press it, so all those things come out because it's sticky on and it come out to the solution, and then they cook the solution and dry it out. You think they not be able to get rid of all of it because it's everywhere you go. When they burn it, every skin around the skin there, this is have the phosphoric acid stick into it. And now when they do, this is a raw sugar. What it look like, it's dark like this. And what they want to do it, okay, this is it too dark like this, raw sugar, and it have some toxins in it, and they have to get rid of it. So what they do, they add it up, they put the heat into the system, and then it come out to be molasses. And molasses is still have some of this phosphoric acid, okay, to leave that one. And then now, okay, now this is raw sugar. Raw sugar is good, but you take a risk of getting overwhelming of phosphoric acid. They have to do some processing to eat it. So then they have to clean it up. So what they do, they use the agent. They use the sulfur dioxide to form the this color distraction and then become it real sugar, the can unit sugar. So that it become commercial at this point. So at this point, pretty much you have to really process yourself or manufacturing because they don't want to sell that to you, the real raw sugar. They have to refine a little more, take more toxin out before they sell to you. Okay. Anyway, I use this, I use that. So it depends on what I do. If I do like I make juice, I can use this because it will cook a little bit longer because you have to get really boiling water and do all those kind of things. So it's not safe, but it's for me. I do it from time to time. I don't do it too often. So this is like a sulfur dioxide. That is a cleaning agent. So you think they will where it go? They will stick it in there. And now I don't know. You think it's safe or not safe? That's how they clean it. Okay, and then after that, I think not after that, it's still toxic in there. Then you got number one, number two. Now when you go to number three, that's why it's a white thing there. It become white sugar. They have to bleach it with like they call bleaching powder. That what they do. They make it white. In order to make it white, the only chemical can do is calcium hydroxide. So that was the bleaching powder. They put in there, they make from here to here it white. Now you got three chemicals in there. That when if residue is in your thing, you know, it will not come out until you cook or do something, whatever it is. But this is three toxins already. Now what happened with okay, some people they say, okay, brown sugar they make from palm sugar. What they do, they put the molasses back into the system, so it become brown sugar. And now you have one, two, three full blown of the toxin. That's why white sugar is not good for you. Okay, because they cannot get rid of all it. Whatever they put it in there, it's still in there some way somehow. So that's why it caused a lot of people have problem with the sugar. Okay, this is brown sugar. That's why when you do diabetic food, we got to really eliminate it. We don't use that. We're going to use a supplement or something that can give you sweet, like a stevia, like a monk fruit, like all these kind of things that they make it from that process. Because most of the thing, if they already do when I selecting my sugar, anything that breach, so I cautioned about it. I say, okay, should I use or should I use? Okay, the stevia they do the process pretty much the same, but they do things they accumulate, they do all of it, but they don't have to do the scrubbing like the sulfur dioxide, the calcium hydrox hydroxide. They don't do that. The process is different, so you have the opportunity to look into it. That what I want to caution you to stay away from the white powder, the white sugar, okay? Because there is too many process into the system, and then you have residue, and they have a chemical that they cannot get rid of it. You have not a lot, but they have some, but it will go into your body. Your body cannot digest it, okay? That's what the problem with the white sugar, and especially you have diabetes, forget about it. Just go to the alternative, okay? Like I do. Okay. Now we're going to talk about raw palm sugar process. Because the sugar is made from palm sugar. This is what it look like. This is how they do. They when the coconut or palm have flower, they be going up and cut the tip of the flower off so that then they can collect the nectar. See, they cut off and you get that, and they put tobacco underneath it to collect the nectar. That's how they do, how they collect it. That's the raw material. No killing agent to be using for that. Okay, they have raw material, the nectar from flower. This is like that when you come like this, and then no bleaching and no molasses add or no sugar add. Sugar add mean sugar cane add. That means when you go to the market, okay, you see, they say palm sugar, and you see it's hard like a brick, really difficult to get it out because the palm sugar is more expensive, coconut sugar more expensive than the sugar cane, white sugar or whatever they do, because the only one that get hard is this kind of sugar, because sugar cane that they process, and this one it doesn't get hard. Okay, that's why they put the palm sugar in there for their packaging, manufacturing, whatever it is, and meaning you eat palm sugar and you eat the sugar cane sugar. So watch out for that. Try not to use them because a lot of people that say palm sugar, and then somebody, we call him palm sugar too, and we sell to the people. It's fine, sell like candy, and the shelf life is very long because it's already dry out and processed and hard like a brick. It's not going to get more. So, and shelf life is getting longer, those kind of things. So for me, it's called cheating. So, but I don't know. I don't cook with that. When I see that, I got a lot of students will ask me, what about this palm sugar? I bought this. I don't have it. Can I find it? I say you can find real palm sugar everywhere in the U.S. because it will. When I opened that up 15 years ago to people to understand this is sugar, that what it's going to do, this is how they made it. Okay, it very simple. They put the nectar, they put in there, and then they start cooking. Cooking down till you go to a small that and the more, and then that when all the water going out, it's got all the sweet nectar in there, and then they keep on going to get the color, like the brown color, darker color, it's a real palm sugar. If you see like this, the hard, they put in the more, and you can put your finger, put in your hand, you can spread it easily, okay? And this is the sugar like this. Sometimes you see all this color, they look like hard like a brick, but if you can break it in your hand without it, that means it's pure palm sugar. Doesn't have the sugar cane sugar added into the system. Okay? And sometimes they want more color, they cook, they will take the upper portion part, and then they cook until it's dark because they want the color, they want the aroma, that they smell differently. So this is how palm sugar. It's the safest, it's the easiest, and really healthy. And you got the real good taste of it because palm sugar, when you do Thai cooking, it's very, very easy to perfecting your taste with this palm sugar. Okay? We're going to go into a little bit of how to read them when you buy the palm sugar, how do you read a package, on the side packet. Okay, the nutrition fact. So this is palm sugar. It look like when you buy the real palm sugar, you see if they come in the container, they come in the can, that kind of thing, and they come in the plastic. If you see this, grab that because that is the real raw sugar because it's soft. You can put your finger and try to press on it. It's soft. And if you see on already in the jar, that kind of thing, it already have something add into it, the system to make it hard or to make it not to what you call it, to gain more profit. So that's how the reason they do it. Because the palm sugar like this, because they cook like that, it doesn't get spoiled, it doesn't get mold, it doesn't get dark because it have its own natural preservative. Okay, the sugar is one of the preservative. This is raw sugar that come from the raw sugar. It doesn't get spoiled. Okay, it doesn't get mold. How does that sound? This is palm sugar. Now we talk about with 50 milligram of palm sugar value, that what they established the data. Okay, it's thought by Palm Easy that I think in the south of Thailand or because they do a lot of palm sugar production. Okay, they will talk about the ash, like because when they do cooking, those kind of thing, sometimes they will have to burn to get the molasses or all those kind of things. The ash is still there. And then they will talk about reduction sugar, talk about nitrogen, talk about protein, because it is have carb into the system because it's the nectar. The total sugar, phosphorus, that is come within the thing that from the sugar, the palm sugar, vitamin B, vitamin C. So they account all this. So, but not too many people pay attention. Like me, I don't pay attention, but it exists that what they analyze to where the production is. Okay, Let's look at the nutrition facts. So the serving is 0.5 milligram or 14 gram per serving. That's what they were talking about. Because usually by containers or those kind of things, we go a little bit more that I will explain a little bit more on it for you to understand that. So, but this one you have to understand have sodium. Sodium it comes within. It doesn't. They didn't add sodium in there. So I most likely they naturally preserve it, but some manufacturing they do it, but they would say minimum 2 milligrams, that kind of thing. And then the carbohydrate, of course, you get that. And then the sugar add, that one sometimes it's not sweet enough because each, you know, each year the production, the sweetness is different. You know, like this year a lot of water, a lot of rain, so your sugar is less sweet. You understand the logic, the concept? That's what it is. So they will add some sugar in there, but they don't tell you what kind of sugar it is. But this is most likely they will add old sugar, last year sugar, add into the system and mix it to bring it where the sweetness to where it is appropriate. Okay, that's how manufacturing works. So it's not cheating, but they just want to maintain the sweetness, you know, those kind of things. That manufacturing process is really complicated, but everything is doable because I know manufacturing, but I don't do food manufacturing. I do electronic. So when you're talking about the palm sugar, oh, what kind of palm did they use to make palm sugar? Okay, when you travel around Thailand, if you go to Thailand, you travel around Thailand. It depends on the vegetation that they have. Some they do, they have a lot of Savaland palm, and then some they do have Alenka palm. This is what this palm we don't have them that much. And then the coconut palm, that's what we have a lot. And Nepal palm, we have a lot in the south. Okay, whatever the type of palm that's how they establish it. So it because the palm sugar is good for the body, it's sort for the they call the brain food, and then called for you know it's good the fructose, but the fructose it can cause insulin resistant obesity, your liver disease and diabetes. So glucose because the glucose give you energy, and they can store it to do those things. That what palm sugar I think is the most appropriate to do cooking, especially the diabetic food. Okay, because you can control them pretty well, and you can get to you put a little bit of you got a flavor that is unique, interesting. Okay, see that these people do it very well. The research case they would talk about the type of palm sugar, okay. Then they will talk about argan sugar, this one, okay. They will talk about coconut sugar, they got a Savaland sugar, they talk about Nepal sugar. That what the research that they put it in there, okay. And then the degree of brick that is sweetened, okay. And then the glycemic index, that what how much is sweetness it is. You got sucrose, fructose, and glucose, and then they measure all that and put it in the data. So the glycemic index, that's what you want to pay attention to. Okay, the degree of break is sometimes I don't know, it get confused. So this is the glycemic index that what we use for. So sometimes they get high, 79.43, that kind of thing. That high, you already see those data, so you know what it is. So if you Savaland palm sugar, this is it in Thailand. We use a lot of those. So you got the glycemic index is quite high, okay? And if you use Nepal sugar, that what is from the south. So this is pretty standard, 76. If you use the coconut sugar, it's less, okay? And sucrose, sucrose, fructose, that kind of thing is more or less. This is less on glucose, it's less on fructose, and but it had the full sucrose. If you eat it, you use it, that your system, look, is your system can tolerate this. You can use all these kind of things. But when you buy palm sugar, don't get the hard one because they mix with other thing like sugar cane sugar. So now you understand that the palm sugar is going to be part of diabetic cooking. We're going to use it, and then we can use another two of them that to do for the diabetic cooking. Oh, now I know the degree brick. The degree brick is a measurement unit, the amount of dissolved solid in water, in liquid, whatever is commonly that. How fast they can dissolve. So it's pretty much the same. You did the value this much, that much. For me, you don't have to know. You want to know the glycemic, definitely. Okay. Since because I live in the U.S., you got to know. If you live in the U.S., you got to know sorghum. They come from the south, come from the back east, those kind of things. So it's a similar process with palm sugar because they have to extract the juice and then they have to cook it, dry it out, the juice, and then all the byproduct from that is a lot of it. Okay, the sweet sorghum, that's what it they make. You got the syrup, you got the jiggly, the pretty much, the palm sugar that have shape on it. You can do that. You can make out the vinegar. You have bioethanol. You can that the byproduct from that. You can eat it the food. You can make it the grain. You can do all those kind of things and biofuel. That's what they use for a lot of it. But you have to realize you be able to use it. The sugar you can eat it. That depend on the process, and they feed that to the animal. The grain. So the biobutanol, you got a lot of things going on with that. The sorghum. So if you see the product, I like this product, the Jiggly. It's good, but I haven't bring into diabetic cooking yet. But it's sometimes I do. I make, especially when you make the dipping, the nampa pick, the sauce, and all those things. So you will, if you take kind of sugar, that is really good. They give you good sweetness, lasting, have a little bit fragrant of that when you chew it, when you swallow it. I mean, when you eat it, you swallow it. You got that aftertaste, a little bit of that. It's kind of interesting. Okay. Now we're going to look into the sugar choice. So that's what I do my research. I do all this and I experiment them. Okay. Stevia pad, that what I use a lot of stevia products. That how they do they do manufacturing. Some sorghum. This is what the process they use. The choice that you can make sugar beet. They make come from sugar beet and agave. Is come from now they not just the juice. They dry it out. That they have their own process. Sugar cane, that one. You corn it at the root. That you can they make the sugar like a same as sugar beet, I think, but the different variety. I think a lot of them in Peru that I see it. Okay, and then the monk fruit. This is another one that has sweetness. Okay, and then date, fruit. That another one is good, but it did it very sweet. I try one. Oh my God, that's sweet. because when they make it out, it's a little bit less sweet, but you eat the little thing that's sweet. Sometimes I do, if I make dipping, those kind of thing, I use it palm and then I smash it out and then I mix with, lime juice, fish sauce, and all those things that in order to instead of using palm sugar or something else, use the date that raw and that give you a little sweetness to do your thing. It's interesting. Try it out. Okay, the maple syrup I never cook it with maple. If I will do juice, make cocktail, those kind of thing. But I stay away from it. For me, my body cannot take. I have allergy. Okay, either refined sugar, natural sugar, or man-made sugar, which one you want. So that's what the thing that I selected. I selected it natural, I selected stevia, I selected monk fruit, I selected the date, and the palm sugar. That sometimes it raw honey. That's what I do. This is have to be 100% honey, not the honey that they sell in like a Costco. They would say, "Oh, 100% this is honey," blah blah blah. But it's the bee that they raise them, or the bee that the quality of the bee, the quality of the honey too. It's just bought out. If you get a good one, little one, go for it. So for me, I bring it from Thailand, the real honey that they harvest in the forest. So then I use them easily. But from time to time I don't use them that much because the honey can keep 100 years. If the real one, if the bad one, it just turn to be hardened. The bee, the raw honey never get hard, and it will turn dark, definitely. Okay, that's what you need to know about the sugar. Now, now we're going to dig deeper about sugar. You get natural sugar. Natural sugar, you get it from animal like bee. So if you got some fruit like a rambutan, this is durian. You got, coconut, those kind of thing. So, and then you have root vegetable, the beet, all those things. It's all natural. You try to accumulate doing the thing with your cooking. So it should be good. And then I want to caution you, this is sugar cane. If you want to cook with the sugar cane, you buy them whole like that, and you have to peel it and wash it real good. So then you don't have the toxin that when they burn, stick it on the scale. Okay, take those things out. Don't just put the whole thing and try to press to get the juice out of it. Okay, you have to peel it before you do that. Okay, that's the natural sugar. It come from everywhere, every part. So you just learn to recognize it. Okay, what is coming from? Like this young corn. You think why they put in there? That is sweet. That it's all natural sweet. I don't know why here in the U.S. they don't too popular. Where it my area in Thailand very popular. They do a lot of it. They grew a lot of it because it's the same thing the corn like that. But when the corn becomes small like that, they have it already, so they eat it. This thing is really good for your body and really sweet. You will love it. Okay. Now we're going to go to the sugar leaf thing. Be careful. You might have a hard stop. Just take a deep breath before we go there. Okay. Breathe it in. Hold it. Slowly put it out. So then you don't get heart attack with neck inflammation. Okay. Okay. Here the sugary drink. So what do you think? Why they so uh, very very famous with the third world country? Thailand have it. The Thailand development country, we still have it. So people still liking them, but mostly the upcountry people they like to drink that. The Bangkok people hardly do that. They will do something more like health awareness, that kind of thing. Like 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 Red Bull, like this. You will see the people, the working people using, the rich people doesn't do it. So the people who have money, because it damages your system. Okay. The worst thing is of all is the Coca-Cola. For me, because you see they become hard. You know, really a lot of sugar in the system, but they don't tell you what it is, or they tell you what it is. But I mean, if you eat that, this thing, what I use to clean the system, clean my glass, do all kinds of things. But people love them because they're sweet. They have bubble, they do all kinds of things. You can burp it up. That's good. Good when you were young. When you get older, no. When you had diabetes, no. But people still, I could see people, okay, order, oh, give me 2 Coke, or Diet Coke. What does that mean to you? Diet Coke, you still have, because you think they take sweet out, but they put something in. You know what it is? The processed, it's already processed sugar. The thing that they put in that. This table is pretty good. It's pretty clear what they have in there. You know, Coca-Cola, Diet Coke. Compare this Diet Coke. This is Coca-Cola. Okay, whatever you pick, they have sugar in there. Okay, no matter what. So, and if you travel to Latin America, this is their fabulous, fancy Fanta. They all they ding by, this is 1 liter they buy. I saw by gallon. So, and they drink that with milk. So amazing. I was laughing with my friends. Say, you did that? I say, yeah. Well, I don't do that much. When I go to my house, visit my family, this is always on the table and everybody drink it, because that's how they successfully sell in Latin America. It's everywhere I go. When I travel, I go, Central America all the way to South America. They're all drinking the Fanta, orange, all those kind of things. This is heavy duty sugar, but they don't care. And they all have a diabetes, more of it. And you see the body had a lot of problems. They could swallow, they have skin problems. But they don't care. They just eat it because it's cheap for them, and that's how they've been raised. And if you go like Mexico City, you go to the fancy restaurant, you don't see all those things. If you go to the street food, you go everywhere, and they're not a small one, they big ones. So if some small one, they say it's not enough for them, I don't know. I say, that your sugar shot for today. And they were laughing at me. So anyway, that's how it works. That the sugar content just, look, everything is in here, that Fanta, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Sprite, all the mineral drink, they add sugar in there for you to perk you up, for you to be addictive, so you can drink more. So it's all about manufacturing. So, and then you have sugar in wine, the cocktail, the cocktail, it all have a lot of sugar in there. If they don't do corn syrup and the juice, they do fruit juice, all those things. This is a lot of sucrose, fructose, whatever you do in one drink, and the sugar, alcohol, that's a lot of it. I cut this one off a long time ago. So, and then I do only red wine, and not the white wine either. And then the orange juice, all kind of thing. Don't do that because it's a lot of sugar. If you had that diabetes, that need to cut it out. Okay, all of it, because it's going to interfere with your hormone, it's going to interfere with your blood sugar, and interfere with the digestive system. It's a lot of problem with sugar. You can live without it. All you have to do is smile. You do the Thai smile. You smile, show the teeth to somebody, so then you feel better than drinking Coca-Cola or Coke if you want to sweet. Okay, keep on smiling. So you have enough information about sugar yet? No, I will put more for you. Okay, sugar nutrition fact. So That's what we're going to go